and I don't think the audio was good. No, I don't hear anything. Let me see. Let me know. Do you guys? There we go. There we go. No, we were not. I don't think audio was on. Let me see. Check, check. No, it wasn't on. Say something, guys. Say it again. Yeah, you guys are not. I wasn't on, and you guys are not on. Why not? Let me see. Why? Yeah, let me see what is going on. Oh, I think I know. Mm, mm, Where is it? Hold on. Can't find my audio source for you guys now. No, we're still live, so they can hear me now. Like my audio's working good, but I can't find your guys' audio source. I don't know why. Mm, mm, Hmm. Why are you guys not here? Hold on. Gotta love this. Um, Discord is not picking it up for some reason. Yeah, Discord's not showing all the audio sources for some reason. Let me see if this works. Say something, guys. Nope. I hear you guys. Oh, there it is. Say something.
Hello?
Yes, there we go.
Testing.
There we go.
Okay, so
All right.
how are we doing this?
We will start from the top as of right now, and then you can cut it from there, even though we're live. What is up, everyone, and welcome to the Random Encounter Podcast, episode 124, take 2, as we're redoing the introduction because I had an audio issue. OBS didn't have the right audio source, and I couldn't get Discord's audio source. Anyways, I'm joined by the Dress Fear Master, the Dominant himself, Mr. Paper Mario, aka Brian. I had to say that again.
It's been a couple of months. We sure this stuff still works?
Yeah, it's funny you said that. I should have double checked that when you said that the first time around and make
You're
sure
right.
everything
I was
was
quoting
accurate.
Ghostbusters too. I was hoping somebody would pick up on that and end up being very appropriate actually. And
Yeah,
then like the next line is, well, it should work. This stuff has a half-life of like 5,000 years or something like that. And
yeah.
then that should have been your cue to see if your setup has a half-life of 5,000 years. But apparently we learned it now. We're good to go. We got our proton packs on our backs, and let's go bust some ghosts.
I have not watched Ghostbusters 2 in a long time.
Worth a
Got
watch.
a subscription. Graziella, thank you for the subscription. And I'm joined by Phaneckswhy, the fanboy himself.
Again. What's up? How's it going?
Welcome to take 2 of this podcast. Redoing everything we had to say. We were talking about the Nintendo Direct that just happened, as well as the Nintendo Direct is going to happen again in about 3 days, where they are officially going to show off the Nintendo Switch 2, as well as games that are coming to the Switch 2, which I'm very excited for. There's been a lot of things that have been coming out, and we're actually going to talk a little bit about this first, because I just wanted to mention this, since I have yet to talk about it. But Xenoblade Chronicles X did come out, and what they did is they found actually in the files there is a 60 FPS mode, which is what people are thinking is going to be for the Switch 2. Not only that, with this Nintendo Direct that just showed off, there was a feature that was showed off, which we will talk about a little bit more later. But in the fine print, it had said that this will only work with Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch. What was it? Nintendo Switch Enhanced or Nintendo Switch 2 Enhanced games. I think was the correct verbiage, which are which is more speculation that the
What was
Switch
that
2.
referring to?
It was the game sharing or the game like cart digital, what do they call
Oh,
it?
gotcha.
Virtual.
Digital
Virtual
card?
cart,
Yeah, the
Virtual
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 card?
game
cart.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So referring to that, there's a like fine print that says that this only will work for. Let me find the exact thing. I don't want to mix up the words. Um, I think it was Nintendo Life that reported it. Let's see. Cart which two? Let's see. I'm almost positive. Let's see. No, it wasn't Nintendo Life because it doesn't say it on here.
Let's see.
It might have been no, it was Good Vibes Gaming. They had a video, a short video on it that showed the fine print where it says that I don't have the video. If one of you guys want while I'm talking, want to watch the video and actually see exactly what the verbiage was, because I don't want to play the audio in the background of the
Oh,
podcast. Oh,
here's
actually,
they had. It says Nintendo notes that Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games and Switch 2 edition games can only be loaded on a Nintendo Switch 2 system.
that's what it was. Yes. So Switch 2 edition games. That sounds like enhanced, right? Like a Switch 2 edition. So like, Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition, right? Or something to that nature. That's exactly what it sounded to me, right? Do you guys agree or do you guys think it's something else?
I mean, it would be such an easy win because the Switch has so many quality games, like S tier games, that with a little bit of juice behind them would be right up there
Mhm.
with the best ever. I mean, not to say that Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, the Xenoblade games, they're not S class by themselves because they are, but when you compare them to PlayStation as far as the look and how things run and everything, like your God of Wars, your Horizons, they're always just kind of gonna seem like a little brother. Even if the gameplay is king, it just doesn't look as good. And sometimes games like Tears of the Kingdom, they can make up for it with art style, but then other times it's like, dude, like this just doesn't even come close to what it looks like on PS5 or whatever.
Mhm.
And so, you think of a game like Xenoblade Chronicle, Xenoblade Chronicles, just the first one. That's what it's called, right? Xenoblade
Mhm.
Chronicles. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking it's Chronicle for some reason. Okay, like you play that on a 65-inch TV or whatever, and like, yeah, it looks good. It's fine. It's serviceable. I'm not, throwing up about how how disgusting it looks or whatever. But at the same time, you compare that to Horizon or something, and it's a totally different universe. And if you could marry the gameplay, the story, the scope of Xenoblade Chronicles with that of Horizon, you'd have something kind of similar, from what I've heard, to like a Xenoblade Chronicle X or
Mhm.
Xenoblade Chronicles X. And if you have that juiced up with some hefty firepower behind it, like holy cats, like look out, we're gonna see some really spectacular performance and aesthetic, and I really think that would really bolster Nintendo up a couple pegs as far as how they're respected in kind of a more mainstream way.
Mhm. Yeah, and I agree with that because a while back, me and Fan, we were dual streaming. We were playing, what was it? Breath of the Wild. What was it? The Wii U, like that
So
mod.
the mod on CMU.
Yeah, and man, that game looked beautiful because it was 60
I'm sure.
FPS, max settings and everything like that. Like it looked really gorgeous on, PC. And just imagine the Switch 2 being able to pull out that power. It would just make, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, especially the Xenoblade games, since like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 runs like at like 380p. It's like super, super low. And you can see it when you play in portable mode, especially on the Switch OLED, which has a bigger screen. It looks really, really bad.
Mm.
And that can definitely use a facelift. Because nonetheless, like when you're in the cutscenes, it kind of upscales and it looks beautiful. But when you're actually playing the game, it doesn't look that great. So that's a game that can actually use that facelift or the power of the Switch 2. And of course, there's other games out there. Astral Chain comes to mind. Astral Chain is a great game, great art style, but of course, the power of the Switch kind of limits of how good it looks. That's a game that would look beautiful at 4K 60 or 1080p 60, anything like that.
Even
But
charge me $10 to update it. I don't care. If
Mhm.
you're gonna like pull some crap, like pay another $70 for this upgraded version of Tears of the Kingdom, and everybody else that's bought it, just you just give them one of these or whatever, then I'm gonna have a big problem with that. But if you're just doing like an upgrade fee, I think that's totally fair, and I'll buy every single one of those upgrade fees because I mean, it'll be incredible to be able
Yeah.
to play that stuff with good
Just
performance.
like what Sony did with the PS4 to PS5
Exactly.
editions.
Mhm.
Right?
hmm
I'm okay
Like
with that.
Days Gone, The Last of Us, Horizon.
just include it with
Spider-Man.
the Nintendo Switch Online subscription instead.
Well, I mean, if you have it and you can upgrade your stuff and it's permanent, or if it's something like where it only lasts while you have a subscription, that'd be so weak.
Yeah. But it's interesting to see like that verbiage, and then Xenoblade Chronicles X having that 60 FPS mode, and it's kind of like one thing I will say I wasn't believing that the Switch 2 will get a enhancement feature, even though that's something you would expect because PlayStation and Xbox did it. It's something that I didn't expect because it's Nintendo, and Nintendo
Right.
doesn't usually like kind of follow suit with a lot of those things. But in this case, it looks like, of course, this is not confirmed or anything like that, but it looks like they might be doing that path, which would be great because Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's another game that would do good to have
Yeah,
a Switch 2 edition,
I was just
especially
gonna
that
say
game.
you were talking about that in like one of your last streams that you did, like you
Hmm.
were showing how awful it looks, and it's been kind of memed to death since Chronicles
Yeah.
X came out. Like how you have this gigantic world with
Hmm.
mecha and the foliage,
Yeah.
right?
Foliage.
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 Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, my fever brain from the last week has ruined my vocabulary and everything. So bear with me. I had the flu for a week. The foliage, the waters, the enemies, the moss. You have all that stuff, and it runs beautiful. It runs really well and
Yeah.
everything. And then you have like Pokemon with 3 blades of grass, and the thing's like dying. It's like on life support, and it's like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. Xenoblade Chronicles X is an amazing game. Beautiful game.
Dude,
Play.
just imagine this Switch 2 is going to be powerful enough to brute force Scarlet and Violet to run okay.
Whoa!
To run okay. Don't say that, man. God dang.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to say that? That's some hefty language right there.
Let's hope. And to be fair, at least the trailer to Legend ZA looks like trailer wise looks to be better than Arceus or Arceus, however you want to call it, and Scarlet and Violet. Because remember when we saw the trailers to both of those games, we saw right away stuttering and frame rate drops and stuff like that. Where ZA so far, I haven't seen any of that stuff. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in the Switch 2 event and what gets confirmed and so forth. And
I cannot
definitely,
wait.
yeah, definitely join us. We will be live streaming that. We're gonna start a little bit early. Live stream it, kind of give our thoughts, talk about stuff, and yeah, get that hype going on. So join us Wednesday, 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, depending on where we started. But we will start it earlier, before 9 a.m. So we're ready and we dive directly in.
Wait, is it 9 Eastern? I thought it was 9 Central. Is it 9 Eastern?
It's 9 Eastern. Yeah, let me double check that. Now you
Oh
got me
damn!
second guessing. I'm
Really?
almost positive it was 9 Eastern, unless I'm confusing this time. Nintendo Direct.
Damn, freaking Californians gotta wake up at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
just
9
to
Eastern.
watch this.
Yeah, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. Yep.
Oh my god, 8 o'clock in the morning. Ugh.
Yeah. It's only 8 o'clock.
That's worth it.
Hey,
It's
man.
fine. 8
I
o'clock
already
for
wake
me.
up
I
at
mean, Central.
6:30 every
Yeah.
day, so it's like, doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that's same thing here. Same thing here.
Yeah, same thing as well. So
Brian, see, tisk.
I'll suck it up.
Yep. Get some Red Bulls, some energy drink. You got it. Coffee if you like coffee. All right, let's go ahead and start talking about the Nintendo Direct before we start giving our Switch 2 predictions. Oh, real quick, actually, before we get into that, has anybody else picked up Xenoblade Chronicles X?
I have
You have? What about you, Brian?
day one actually.
Nice.
I picked it up, but I haven't played it yet because I just finished platinuming, completing 100% Gravity Rush 2, which I'll be happy to talk about if we're going to get into what you've been playing.
Yeah, we'll see if we have time at the end. Since we did start later,
Okay.
I'm skipping that, but we'll see if we have time at the end.
Okay.
And
But I
Fan,
did pick it up though
nice. How about
with
you,
a
Fan?
voucher.
I probably will pick it up, but I don't
Mhm.
know.
Nice. Ash, did you play any of it yet?
Yeah, I have. I did my character customization and everything. Like all the male voice choices that they had, and it's even more funny too because they also put the name of the voice actors who you're going to be
Yeah.
voicing as, and I
Well, that's
know
cool.
I know like 70% of them, which is cool. So, but
Who did you choose as the
yeah,
voice?
Yuri?
I thought I chose Keith Silverstein, but I effed up, so it wound up being Yuri anyway. It doesn't match up to my character's archetype, but it is what it is. I just want to get straight into the game, and I would have to say is that when I finally got to the opening where Elmo shows you the entire landscape
hmm
of the game, I'm like, God damn, this is maintaining at 30 FPS, and we can't see this with Scarlet and Violet. That's crazy. No freaking way, man. But yeah, if anything, I stopped right there because I wanted to see what the Switch 2 will be able to provide. Which this I was playing this game before the leak came out about this whole 60 FPS lock unlock type of deal. So if anything, if it's true, then I'm probably just going to be holding off playing that game until the Switch 2 comes out, and then before that, I'm probably going to be trying to finish up at least Xenoblade Chronicles 2 before I even get to Xenoblade Chronicles X. So that way, I have my organization in order and stuff because I'm literally going back and trying to complete all my backlog and stuff, which is going well so far. So I can't be messing that up and trying to play a new game. Which, speaking of, I did play a new game today, which I wound up finishing in 3.5 hours. Funny enough,
I want to hear. I really wanted to hear what you have to say about mouthwash. Remember, I finished that a couple months ago.
Before we get into that, well, let's go into other things before I
No, I know. He
talk
said
about
we
it.
might get to that later, but
Yeah.
I definitely do want to hear your thoughts at some point about that.
Yeah.
I didn't, I'm probably the biggest Xenoblade Chronicles X fan here. Like, I'm a huge fan. I have it's in one of the boxes back here. I have the collector's edition for the Wii U because I love that game so much. And I wanted to get it day one. I didn't get it day one because of the moving and everything like that. So, but I do have it now, and it's just, I like did the character creation. That's it. I haven't touched it since because this moving has got me tired for the most part. But I'm happy to dive in and kind of continue it. I did get the Tetris theme though. Thanks to Brian, reminded me a couple times to go ahead and do it. I did get the Tetris 99 theme because I definitely had to do that. So I will be happy to talk more about it next podcast while I play it. I just, like I said, did the character creation, did like a fight or two, and then I was like, I'm too tired. I need to go to sleep. And I went to sleep. I haven't played it since. So yeah, I got to see if my devices are even charged. My Switch was at 50%. I haven't used my RG Ally X or my Steam Deck or any of my devices since since I told you guys that we're not gonna do any streaming or anything like that while I do the moving. So I haven't played any game since that whole time. So yeah. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this Nintendo Direct. It started off pretty big for me personally because
Me too.
they showed off Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD remake, which looks amazing. HD 2D remake, which looks amazing. I mean, honestly, it's exactly how Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D looks, but there is something different with this that's got a lot of people excited, and that is Dragon Quest 2 HD 2D specifically. They added the Princess of Cana, and it looks like she is a actual playable character. So Dragon Quest 2 only had 3 playable characters in the game. You had and they're all cousins, which is kind of cool because they're all um descendants of the hero to Dragon Quest 1.
Of the heroes of Dragon Quest 1.
Yeah, because I was gonna say Erdrick, but Erdrick's technically not his name. That's just the title he's given.
Yeah.
They're all descendants of the hero of Dragon Quest 1. And it basically was the main character who wears blue. Then you have the girl who's like a healer, and then you had the Prince of Canuck who is he wears green, and then his sister was there, but she never joined your party. Like, she was a character that was just there. But it does look like now that she will be a playable character. They updated the artwork and they added her in the artwork now, and the official artwork too, which is kind of cool. So the cover art actually has her there. And then of course at the end of the trailer, Dragon Quest 1 and 2, they did show her like run up and talking to the protagonist. So kind of neat. I was actually thinking, were they going to add another playable character to Dragon Quest 1 as well? Because that game, even though it's turn-based, you only play as one character. And what's unique about that game is every enemy you fight, it's always one-on-one. So you will never fight multiple enemies. It's typically just one-on-one the whole time, which is kind of interesting. So I always thought that maybe they'll add maybe more multiple party members, something like that. But it looks like they're keeping that kind of true to form. And it's just going to be, the hero character versus the enemy, and that's it. So I'm excited about this, and I want to see what else they might have added to it to just kind of, give it quality of life and all that other good stuff, and maybe any story beats that they might add to it to kind of make it more interesting. But yeah, they open
I
up with
really,
that.
first of all, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake just rolls right off the tongue. I don't necessarily like how they began the direct with that. I guess the way that the fact they did begin the direct with it, just because this wasn't a new announcement. Like typically you open up with a really strong opening act, and it's like a nice surprise or whatever. And this was announced a long time ago.
Yeah.
I guess that should have kind of given us an idea of what the cadence of this direct was going to be like, and ended up kind of being true to form in that way, because there really wasn't anything that was big that was like, oh my god, because I think they're really planning all the big guns for Wednesday. But
Yeah.
I mean, this looks great. Like, I'm not hating on Dragon Quest or anything like that. But I just wish that when you have a direct that you only do, twice a year or something like that, like let's open up with a nice big announcement. And and if you can't do it because you're saving all the big guns for Wednesday, then maybe like make this like a partner direct, or call this like Nintendo Direct Mini or something. Like, make it not have the same pedigree as a Nintendo Direct to get the hype up. But anyways,
they
let's
showed other
continue on.
stuff.
Yeah.
I know, but it
Like,
wasn't.
about
There was nothing
the-
really that was new, though. That was.
There was for
Well, I
Dragon
mean,
Quest 2.
yeah,
Because all we got
But it
was
was
the
announced
announcement
already,
that they were
that's
going
my
to do
point.
it.
Yeah,
They
it
announced
was
that they were going to do
announced,
it, but they didn't show actual
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't
That-
show actual stuff of the game. This time they actually
Yeah.
showed stuff
Yeah,
of the game.
they showed a good amount of stuff for Dragon Quest 1 and 2, especially with the new playable character for 2. Like, listen, I play both 1 and 2, which I personally I love 2 a lot, because you play as the 3 cousins and stuff, and they're doing the whole thing. And then once you like complete everything, you're about to fight the final boss. The map theme, it actually changes to like a heroic triumph of theme that you just march towards the archfiend and beat them up or something. I love that. But now they're adding like more stuff into it. It's going to be new content, which, I mean, yes, we knew that this was announced. Like, we already knew that we're going to make a 1 and 2 HD 2D remake, because if they're going to do 3, then they're going to do 1 and 2, because it's part of the trilogy. It makes sense.
This is just them announcing or showing Prime 4.
Yeah,
right?
they just wanted to let you know, hey, listen, hey, it's coming. We're going to put some new stuff in there, and that's pretty much it. And
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that, right? But it's like, even when they showed Dragon Quest 3 for the first time, like when they announced that for the first time, it didn't open up a Nintendo Direct. It was just an announcement that was tucked in. I think that should have been the same case here. They should have just showed this in the throes of it and shown the footage, and then I would have a problem with it at all. I just like
Let me
opening
ask you
with it.
this, Brian. Would you feel the same way if, let's say, Ghost of Yotai, for example, how it's been announced, but we don't have any gameplay footage? If Sony opened up with Ghost of Yotai, would you feel the same way when they actually?
Or yeah, I
gameplay?
would feel the same way. Yeah,
Okay.
I would feel the same way. Yeah, because
Okay.
I like.
Well, that's fair.
I'm
then.
pretty consistent that I think when you open a show, it should have something new to get you hyped. And I think you should close a show that way too. And then in the middle, if you want to show Ghost of Yotai footage, some new stuff, Dragon Quest, some new footage of that, just as long as we don't get into another Monster Hunter Wild situation, which I'm afraid Pokemon XY is kind of becoming Nintendo's
ZA.
Monster Hunter Wild or Z8, whatever. Yeah, not XY. Again, Fever Brain. You know what I mean? The new one. They're showing like every other direct. Continue.
No, I'm saying that's fair. Like, if you are gonna be like that for, like, everything, then it's fair. Like, to me personally, like, if they show gameplay footage of Ghost of Yotai, I would be happy with it, because we know it's announced, and we saw that little, like, I don't want to say
little
CGI trailer,
blurb.
but the trailer for it, but they didn't show gameplay. If they actually went
Like
in
a
and did
teaser.
like a dive, yeah, it was like a teaser. And same thing with what's the other game from Naughty Dog? No, excuse me, the other game from Naughty Dog. Shoot, I forgot. The name. The one that
yeah,
has
it's
like
really bad
Akira
name.
like callbacks.
Yeah. That's not Interstellar. What is it? It's
The Naughty
I
Dog.
don't
We'll
need to
just say
look
the
it up.
Naughty Dog game. You guys know us. You believe us. Like,
Isn't that or was that? Is that Space
Intergalactic,
game?
the Heretic
Intergalactic.
Prophet.
Yeah,
The Prophet game.
Intergalactic.
Oh
With the
yeah,
Beast
that game
Wars.
like
was.
a long,
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, like even
Yeah.
that, like if they show gameplay, like I would be, it would be a good way to open it. But yeah, let's
Yeah,
move
but
on.
see, that was new. Like when that got shown, if that would have been new with some gameplay, that'd have been hype as hell. But it is what it was. 'cause it
No,
was
I'm
just a
saying
teaser.
like if they show like Sony does a state of play like
Like
the
somewhere
next
down the line.
and they
Gotcha.
open up with that actually showing gameplay, like I would be excited for that because we got that little teaser and yeah, they show a bit of gameplay, but they didn't show like much, if that makes sense. Right? It was just like, oh,
Okay.
there's a sword swinging or whatever, and that was it. I like if I
Yeah,
got to
not
see
much.
like more of it, I would be excited. But yeah, next
Okay.
game they showed was No Sleep from Kaname Date, I assume because it's Japanese, it's not date. So Kaname Date from AI The Summoning Files. Never played the games. I've seen like the games. I just never played it because I don't know. I just don't care for the game. That's just me.
You should give it a
Anybody here's
shot.
played them?
It's
Have you tried
yeah,
it?
it's another light novel series. So it's made by the
That's
same
possible.
guy. They made that did Zero Escape, the Zero Escape series, which
I
all
like
started
Zero
from
Escape.
9 Yeah, it started from 999, 9 persons, 9 doors, 9 hours on the DS.
On DS.
And then
Yep.
and then eventually that all got ported to the PC and other platforms as well.
Is that one
And
on
with
Vita
this,
also?
yes, I believe so. Yeah,
'cause I think
yeah.
I
It
played
was
that one
called
on Vita.
it was called Virtual's Last Reward, I believe. And
Yeah.
there was a last one called Zero Time Dilemma that released on 3DS. So, and with that, he ended up with a really bad cliffhanger for the Zero Escape series. So from there, that's when he went from that to AI Somnium Files and stuff. Now, could I give you a synopsis? I could not because I only played the first game and I haven't beaten that one yet, which is another game that's in my backlogs currently right now. But it takes a whole different approach on like sci-fi detective stuff, which it's something that could be fun for some people. So, and I hope, I don't know if they have a demo for it, but if anything, game's been popular with the fans. It's already come out with a third game, as you can see there. So, I definitely trust them and give it a shot. If anything,
Okay. I'll take a look at it. Maybe not. We'll have to wait.
yeah. It's a light novel, so I don't know whether that'll be your taste. I don't know.
I own them. I've never played them though. They do interest me. That trailer did interest me.
Me-
I heard of that
me-
game.
Music never missed.
What?
Though. Music never
Yeah,
missed.
well, that's good.
Yeah.
There's that other game that I got on Steam recently that it has nothing to do with it probably, but it's another like story-based game that's kind of gotten some buzz. It's called like 1,000 Times Resist or something like that. You hear of that?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
Never heard of
Anyway,
it.
moving on.
Yeah. Now this next game actually got me interested. Never played the game, but it looks interesting. Rido Remaster: The Mystery of Soulless Army. It's
Buy
an
it.
Atlas
This is that
game.
Atlas one.
Yeah, that one looks
Yeah,
pretty
doesn't-
interesting. Definitely my cup of tea. So this one, I'll be keeping an eye out for that one. That one comes out June 19, 2025.
I'm happy. It's grabbing you. It's one of the Shin Megami Tensei games I'm trying to get people to play. But the thing
I
is,
haven't even heard of that.
that's a
Right,
game
me
that never
neither.
never got localized to the West because that
What was it
originally
on?
Yeah,
actually-
they did say that.
yeah, it's only on PS2.
PS2. Really?
And there's a part 1 and part 2, and I'm like, so that was like the biggest announcement for me, was like they actually went in, remastered with SMT5 graphics, and they're like, all right, instead of just releasing it to Japan, let's also release it to the West this time. And I'm like, thank God for that. And if this succeeds, then they might also try to remaster other games that still are lying dormant into the PS2 library and go from there. It's great. I am extremely happy. So, yeah, definitely pick it up, James, and let me know what you think.
I'll be picking that up.
Yeah, definitely. Same here.
Yep.
Let's see what do we got. Yeah, that comes out June 19, 2025. So after my birthday. I have to look into that as a birthday
Yeah,
gift.
on Nintendo, they already have the size of the game file for that game.
Yeah, Nintendo's pretty quick on that actually. Yeah,
On Rido, it says it's 11.76 gigs.
Yeah,
That's probably what I would expect.
Yeah, not surprised. I forgot.
Most
Are they
PS2
going to put
games are like
are
2
there
gigs.
are they going to put the first game in there or just 2 games in there?
In this one?
Yeah.
This one just says it just says Rido Remaster. That's all it says.
Interesting.
Let me
Okay.
Let me see. I assume it's probably the first game.
Yeah, it's most likely the first game. They're probably testing the waters with that
Mhm.
one to make sure if people are actually messing with this game, and then if it's green lit, then those will do the second one remastered
Yeah.
and go from there.
Real quick, I do want to backtrack a little bit. No Sleep for Kaname Date comes out July 25th, 2025. And Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake does not have a release date. It just says 2025. So that will be coming on a little bit later.
Yep.
Next game, Shadow Labyrinth. That's the one that's based off of Amazon Prime's what is it called? Secret
Pac-Man
Level.
or
Secret
Secret
levels.
Yeah, Secret Level, the
but the
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man secret levels. Yeah.
Yeah, that one comes out July 18th, 2025. What do you guys
That's
think
so
about
weird.
that? It does, yeah. I can't see, like, I don't know. It's just attaching Pac-Man to it just makes it weird, in my opinion.
I almost wish that the little avatar thing wasn't Pac-Man. Like I wish it was just something else that had literally
Yeah.
nothing to do with anything. It was just like its own property, its own thing. And I think I'd be a lot more interested in it. But the fact that they kind of just like tacked on this gritty Pac-Man thing, it reminds me of that Bomberman Zero game that came out on Xbox 360 like 15
Yeah.
years ago or whatever. And it's like we're just trying to be hardcore because it's 2025 and it's time for Pac-Man to kill some crap, and it just seems unnecessary. I mean, the gameplay looks kind of interesting. It's just I'm not a big fan of the grittiness. Like I think it would have been such a cooler art style if they would have done something like retro, like a not Pac-Man mazes, but like neon and like something set in like the 80s, like a
Yeah.
noir kind of setting. I think that'd have been so much cooler than this kind of like army looking bionic commando looking thing. I don't know.
I mean, it's interesting. I'm probably not gonna get it, honestly speaking.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait to see. Patapon 1 and 2 replay. That's a
Oh, this
Sony
gets my
game.
goat.
Yeah, a Sony game coming to Nintendo Switch. That will be coming out July 11th, 2025. That's not the only Sony game. So far, we've had Horizon or Lego Horizons, right? That's a Sony property on Nintendo Switch. Patapon now on Nintendo Switch, and there is another one that we will be talking about a little bit later. That is, well, at least was known for being a Sony property. That is also coming to Nintendo Switch.
Why just 1 and 2 though? It irritates me so much. It's like when Nintendo didn't bring up Mario Galaxy 2 and that Mario 3D All-Stars. It's like,
Do
why
not
don't
remind
you
me.
put that in there?
Do
Like,
not remind
or
me.
like,
Oh my god.
like a month later, 2 months later, a year later, they would have had like a $10 add-on pack for owners of Mario 3D All-Stars to add Galaxy 2 to it. Like, okay, fine, but the fact that that's just like dead is just dead media. You can only play that on a Wii U through Virtual Console or through a Wii. Like, it's just dead otherwise. Same with Patapon and Patapon 2. Like, if you're bringing those games, just do the whole stupid trilogy. Like, why are you abandoning 3? Like, just have them all there. Like, why?
Yeah,
It just drives me nuts.
it's funny.
I
say that about
agree with you.
Nintendo. You said about Nintendo, and like the first thing that comes to my head is like, we're getting Metroid Prime 4 this year.
Oh, yeah, same thing.
But we didn't
Yeah.
get Metroid Prime 2 and 3.
Where's 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. That would have been such a perfect place
Mhm.
in this direct to Shadow Drop 2 or Shadow Drop
Mhm.
3 or a dual pack or something like that. Like, I
Yeah.
thought for sure we would have had that by 4. It's like, okay, cool, we own 1 and 4. Well, you have all these gamers that bought Switches for the first time that are in their teens or early 20s that weren't in the games when Metroid Prime 2 and 3 came out, or they didn't, or they had a Wii, but maybe they didn't care about Metroid Prime 3 and
Yeah.
they want to try 2. It's different. It's really different. And they're like, no, it's cool. You can just play 1 and 4 and we'll just pretend that 2 and 3 don't exist. And
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous.
And like
unless
2
they're saving that shadow drop for this upcoming direct.
Now that would be something, along with Zelda, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess. What if they did both of those?
I don't see them doing that.
I don't
'cause
either, but
let's focus
still,
on
I would
Switch
lose my
too.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would be
I
Well,
agree,
it's
but I'd still
because
lose my mind.
everyone was saying the Prime 4 gameplay looks too good to be recorded on Switch 1.
No, I'm believing that it's still recording on Switch 1. I mean,
That's why
because
like a lot of people are like they think it's got to be like it looks too good to be
because
Switch
they're
1.
like they're literally saying, hey, listen, you're still gonna. They're literally telling you, hey, listen, you can still play Prime 4 on Switch 1, but wait until next Wednesday to watch Switch 2 and see what Prime 4 looks like on there, and see if you rather want to play off of that console instead of Switch 1. Now, honestly, it still looks great on Switch 1, so no doubt about it. But like Nintendo already promised their consumers that, hey, listen, like we promise you that you can get Switch Prime 4 on the first Switch, but it's going to run a lot better on Switch 2, you know?
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see
Yeah.
on Wednesday. But yeah, Patapon 1 and 2 replay comes out July 11th, 2025. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar, a brand new game in the Story of Seasons, aka Harvest Moon series. OG Harvest Moon, right? This is the creators of OG Harvest Moon, so like, you know, Back to Nature and so forth. This is their game where Harvest Moon today, if a Harvest Moon game comes out, it's not from the original creator. It's a totally different series. It's a wannabe. It's a fake. Yeah, that comes out August 27th. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I've
Not my cup of tea.
Yeah, like I have Harvest Moon, Back to Nature, which was like remade on GBA. Like I have that on my Retro Pocket, and I go back to that every now and then. But like this, I don't know. I'm not into farming sims.
Too much stuff to
anymore.
play.
The farming sim.
Yeah, exactly. Metro Prime 4 Beyond. They show gameplay of that. We've talked about that. It still says 2025. We don't have an actual release date, but looks great. Samus has psychic abilities. Why does she not have psychic abilities now? Like, I guess we'll have to wait and see, because Metroid Prime, all the Metroid Prime games are prequels to the regular Metroid games. And it's just kind of like, you know, if she had those psychic abilities, she would be OP, I guess, in the other games. But yeah,
She probably lost them.
yeah, I figure something like that. I mean,
Like how she always loses her armor.
yeah, exactly. She always loses her armors and powers in the beginning of every game. But yeah,
I really
cool.
wish that they don't show much more of this before it comes out. Like I was kind of disappointed that they showed that psychic stuff. Like I think that'd have been such a cool drop for when the person plays it for the first time. This trailer I felt almost kind of bordered on showing a little too much. I thought that initial one was pretty good that they did. It was just like, 20 seconds of kind of like an interior space or interior spaceship or whatever. And now you're showing the planet, get the psychic powers. I don't know how I feel about the psychic powers. I will say I like that red and black suit that she gets at the end. Like that looks pretty dope. That's
cool.
my aesthetic big time. But yeah, I mean, it looks amazing. I'm day one, 100%. I'm a Metroid mark big time. But okay, enough is enough. We've seen it. Let's get this bad boy out.
Agreed.
What happened? What would you think if that red and black Metroid suit wasn't Samus in there?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too.
Maybe.
No, it's Samus. Just
That'd be
like,
interesting.
I mean, we talked about it earlier about like how like these powers, like why does these are prequels,
Yeah.
so why doesn't she have it in the future? I threw out the idea of like, hey, maybe this Samus dies, and all the future Samuses that we know of is a clone.
Oh God, that'd be awesome. Actually.
I mean, that's something you can see, but as long as it's still Samus in some way, shape, or form, because it's Samus. Yeah, I don't want
just
to
like
switch
you know,
in and
it was a
you're
clone
playing
before
as
she got the psychic
Adam,
abilities. So
well, I guess Adam's dead, so you couldn't play as Adam in that. I think at this time Adam's dead. I don't remember.
Let's ask Team Ninja. They'll know.
Yeah, they'll know exactly. Whoever's played the game, if you have, just write in the comments, because I still haven't played that game. I want to play it, but
No, you don't. Metroid Other M.
Yeah,
I mean, my roommate was a big fan of Other M, actually.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah,
I remember working at Best Buy back in 2011, and Metroid Other M was one of the like value games because they had so many copies of them. People weren't buying it.
Yeah.
It was there right next to Carnival games and like all these other style games that people weren't buying. Disney Villains Cursed Cafe. Brian, I know you enjoyed that trailer, didn't you?
Again, showed too much. I was looking forward to the surprise reveal of Gaston, and I'm really bummed out that I saw too much.
Yeah, I guess no one cooks
No,
like
I don't
Gaston,
have the opinion.
but
Right.
yeah, none of our cup of teas here. Witchbrook, which I don't remember what game that was. Probably a game that I just
That was that really pretty 2D pixel art looking game where you play as you look in a witch academy kind of thing. It's like Hogwarts Legacy without the Harry Potter stuff. It sounds really interesting. It sounds very whimsical and cute.
Oh, yeah, it looked
and
like that's the game that looked like Stardew Valley, like aesthetically.
yeah,
Okay.
kind of look like
yeah,
Stardew
kind of,
Valley
yeah.
aesthetically.
The right people this is probably an awesome game. I'm sure the right age group and the right kind of genre that you're into, you probably really dig this. It's just I know it's not for me.
This could be like for people who want to like go to Hogwarts without actually playing Hogwarts.
Yeah,
Right.
cool. I guess. The Eternal Life of Goldman. This game actually looks pretty dope. This is a game where you play as like the old man and you gotta like upgrade his cane and you get different abilities. It's like a platformer slash like action game. You guys
I
remember
must have
that?
Yeah.
tuned out.
Yep, I did. Yeah, the art style looks it kind of reminds me of almost a Cuphead art style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that did look kind of interesting now that I think about it.
Yeah, that game looked pretty cool. Like I enjoyed that. That one, it just says this holiday season. Looks cool. I honestly I probably will pick that game up because that definitely looks up my alley right there. Gradius Origins. That comes
That
out
was cool.
August 7th.
I wish that was a
2025.
shadow drop.
That is something you would think that would be a shadow drop. Rift the Necro Dancer and Celeste music pack for Rift the Necro
Yeah.
Dancer.
Yeah, wish this was already announced like a year or two
Mhm.
ago.
Yeah, I think this is
Love
just
Celeste.
a
It's
DLC
talking about
pack.
Celeste music, like Celeste, like the platformer Celeste. You
Yeah.
think?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That music is so good in that game. So I'll be all over that.
Tamagotchi Plaza. So they got that.
Can't wait.
Pokemon Legends ZA. They showed off some more stuff. So, I'm excited for Pokemon Legends ZA. They showed off some new Mega Evolutions. And then they showed off at nighttime, it becomes like all these trainers come out. And then it's kind of a battle royale. And you fight.
It's like Fight Club.
Yeah, basically. Looks kind of cool. Like the mechanics they're doing for ZA, I'm liking it. And I do like that in this Pokemon game specifically, they're trying to change it up a little bit. I still want classic Pokemon alongside games like this, but this does look very interesting. The battle system, for the most part, is really what I'm really intrigued about. And I am glad you get to fight against other trainers because the thing about Legends Arceus was 9 times out of 10, it was you against a Pokemon. There were very few trainers in there. But some of the trainer fights were pretty cool because instead of it just being 1-on-1 or 2 versus 2, it would be 1 versus 3 or 1 versus 5 or and so forth, which was kind of neat. Where one trainer, I forgot her name, the girl who's from the leader of the Pearl clan, she at one point had like 5 different Eevees that you had to fight. So you're fighting all her Eevees against you, which was kind of neat. So yeah, I'm happy to see what they're gonna do with Pokemon Legends ZA, and hopefully performance is good because yeah, we already discussed Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Rhythm Heaven Groove. So this I was excited for because I have yet to play a Rhythm Heaven game, but the music is amazing. Like if you ever watch any of my videos, I use a lot of Rhythm Heaven music in the background because it has really good music, really nice music, like relaxing music. So far, if you ever just type in like Nintendo relaxing music or anything like that, 9 times out of 10, there's a bunch of Rhythm Heaven music in it because there's some cool music there. And this is just basically a rhythm game, right? You go to the beat, you press the right button at the right time, and so forth. But pretty neat. Has the aesthetics of kind of like WarioWare, where it has like that cartoony, I don't know what you want to call it, that cartoony vibe. But I'm excited that they're coming out with a new Rhythm Heaven game, and I know there's a huge cult following for this. A lot of people are very excited for this, so yeah, I can't wait for that. It comes out in 2026 though, which sucks because that wasn't the only game announced for 2026. Anybody here has played Rhythm Heaven at all?
I played it once before
I
on the
dabbled.
DS. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was great.
Respect it.
Yeah.
Virtual game cards. So they announced virtual game cards, so I am like 50-50 on it. Like it's cool. I'm gonna give you the scenario why I think it's a good idea. So right now I share my account between my Switch and then one of my son's Switch, so he can play the same games I can play. The neat thing about that is if I'm playing, let's say, Tears of the Kingdom, he can play Tears of the Kingdom as well. So we don't have to go ahead and wait. We can both play it at the same time. Kind of like game sharing if you have 2 PS5s and so forth. The downside is if I have a game, let's say, I'm trying to think of a game. We'll
And
use
James-
Like a Red M game or something like that.
Yeah, well, I'll just use Tears of the Kingdom again as an example because I have 2 copies of Tears of the Kingdom. I didn't want to use that as an example, but well, I'll use that as an example. So because I'm sharing with my other son, we can only play it. But my other son who has a Switch, if he wanted to play the game, he can't because it's
Oh,
digital,
okay.
right? So I would have to either undo one account, move it over so that he can do it, or basically he doesn't play it. With Virtual Game Card, I can now allow him to play the game. But the thing that I don't like is this gets rid of the being able to play the same game on two devices at once. So as of right now, you can do that. In the future, you won't be able to because they did say you can only play that game one one device at a time. Which, to be fair, is no different than the way Valve is doing family sharing on the Steam Deck or on like Steam in general. Only one person can play that one game at a time, right? So if you have Resident Evil and you're sharing it with somebody else, only one person can play Resident Evil. You can't both play Resident Evil. So, I get it, and I do like the feature. And this might actually push me to buy more digital games, or in general, just more digital games. Like I have a lot already, but I would buy physical games depending on if I'm gonna share the cartridge with my kids or not. Yeah, what do you guys think about this?
So, oh, go ahead.
I mean, okay, yeah. So basically, I actually like the idea of virtual game cards because I mean, it logically makes sense in how you're supposed to let another user borrow a game and stuff. Now, the only thing I don't like about it is the fact that hey, you can only let them borrow it up to like a week, I believe, which I'm like really seriously.
2
So
weeks.
I
once
think it's 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay, 2 weeks, and then so by the time that time's up, then you got to go through the whole process again and do it again. At this point, you might as well just have them like increase up to like a month or so, right? At least or something. So I like that whole idea, and I don't know if they mentioned this within the director, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be more restrictions on top of it as well, to where you need to be part of a family group in order for you to
Yeah,
actually
they mentioned it
share
in
the
the
games.
direct.
Yeah, you need to share the games between the members within the family group as well. So
That's for
that's
the
one thing.
14-day part.
Hmm?
Because there's
That's
two
the
different
14-day
sharing
part.
aspects that they talked about here. One is sharing games between systems that have the same account. That's unlimited as far as like the time period. But
Which
then
makes
that
sense. Okay.
14-day thing, that is, excuse me. What was I going to say about the 14-day thing?
But
That's
between
shared
family.
between family. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the family. That's the Switch family sharing, the family plan or whatever. You can do that with other family members. But the
Yeah.
only thing that's a bummer about it is that they have to be in the same local connection as you. So if Ash, you were in my family sharing, I couldn't share to you whatever game because you live way far away. We'd have to, hop on a plane and meet up somewhere, and I'd have to transfer you the game.
I mean, to be
You know?
to be
Yeah.
completely fair, if they're trying to make this more realistic, I mean, yeah, I can see why they did that in the first.
Yeah,
Right.
because you're
Just
not
saying.
family. You don't
Yeah.
live in the same household.
No,
So,
it's the fact. It's the fact.
yeah.
Like, hey, if I'm going to give Brian a game, right? I gotta give some the physical copy of the game so you can actually put it on his console and do it like that. And it'll be the
Yeah.
same way as, hey, let me bring my console over here. Send me the digital copy via DS download play. I'm just kidding. I miss this DS download play, but yeah, it's just I get it. It makes sense why they have those things in place, which is why I'm not really too mad about on what they're doing here. So overall, I feel like this is a good thing, a good feature that they have as well. So good on them.
Yeah. If anything, it's like, let's say you have family that's visiting, right? And they bring their Switches. Well, you can share the game with them. Maybe it might not be a game that they'll buy, but they can at least try it. They've got
Yeah.
14 days. It
They have to be in your
automatically goes
family
back to
sharing, though,
you.
don't they?
Yeah, but that's all stuff you can set up,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
ahead of time, and like it's a 2-week demo essentially,
Yeah.
which is amazing. So,
Yeah, that's true.
So like, I'm technically, I could go over to James's house. Like he
Mhm.
could add me to his family. I could go to his house, get on his network. He could share me a game. I could leave. And then 2 weeks from now, he would just get the game back. He could do the same thing. He can come to my house. We do the same thing.
yeah,
I mean, I like what they're doing. They're basically just turning a digital game into a physical game.
yeah. Which like I am hands down all for it. Like this actually brings more value to digital games than ever before, because I feel like with a physical copy it always has more value than a digital copy, because you actually get to own the game yourself, and you can if a friend of yours wants to borrow it, you can give them the physical copy, and they can keep it as long as they need, or until you want it back. You want to finish up whatever you have on your game or something. That's perfect.
It'll be crazy if this works well. If they add an update in the future where you can like, hey, you only get 8 families, right? That's what we're expecting people to have. But let's change it up and let's do family and friends. So then that way you can add 2 people outside your network that you could share it to.
That'd be fun. That'd be dope too. That'd be dope. Makes sense to me.
So that way you have a total of 10 people that you could be in your friends and family group.
Yeah, I literally have nothing against it. And like the other thing that Brian pointed out that I forgot, that the fact that if you already own 2 Switches and they're both on this, repeat the whole thing again, Brian. With the limited amount of times you get to like send the game over.
On the Switch, there's a new icon on your
Yeah.
home screen where it's for the virtual carts. Once you link and pair your Switch consoles together, you only have to do it once, but they're paired. But then you can kind of organize which Switch has which digital game on it.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay. That makes
So
I
sense.
you
think
can move- you
James
can move
James
them
looks
around as
lost
much
in
as you
thought
want.
right now.
Yeah, I'm reading up on it to try to see, because I only
It is
remember
really
the
complicated.
family sharing part where you can share it with other family members, but I don't remember it saying you can share it to people who are not in your family group.
So, because the family group is just a family group, right? They're not going to like ask you to freaking send in a DNA sample with the Nintendo account
Yeah.
to prove that this person is in your family. You can add whoever you want as your family.
But I'm saying, like, what if you're not in? Because you have to have the Nintendo Switch family.
I don't
account
think
to
they
do that.
I don't think they required you to have a Nintendo Switch Online family account. They
Well,
didn't say anything on there about that.
I could have sworn you do.
Um,
I could have sworn for that 14-day thing, it's only people that are in your Nintendo Switch family
Yeah.
online thing, 8 people.
Yeah, I don't think it said the online thing. It's just who's in your family circle.
You see, what the thing that sucks about this is directly on Nintendo's website, they don't even have like an article or anything explaining this, which is dumb.
Well, I'm gonna check. Let's check out
Oh, so
I'm
I
looking
guess
at
we'll just say-
IGN, and IGN is kind of vague about it too.
Yeah, because they don't have all the details.
So basically, what you're trying to get at, James, is that because you may have to pay for like a Nintendo Online family pack in order for you to actually share digital games. Now, if that's the case,
Here,
then,
I have a quote right
then
here.
that's kind of effed up, if anything.
This is from Nintendo's website. You can also lend out virtual game cards to your Nintendo account family group members.
Yeah, that has nothing. This is nothing about Switch Online Family Edition.
Oh, perfect then. Awesome.
Is that the same thing?
No,
I think
that's
it's the same
that's
thing,
different.
'cause you
I
can't
think
have a
that's
family.
different.
No, I agree with Fan. It's different. Those are 2 different things at that point.
No, because you can't make a family group
Yeah,
without
you can.
Nintendo Switch Online.
So answer me this: how do you do parental controls?
Yeah, but that's not a family group. Parental controls is different.
Isn't that just different users?
Parental controls is part of the family group functionality. That's what Fans is getting at.
No, it's not. Parental controls was not. It's you put in a pin, and then you activate it, and then you use the app to kind
So
of.
here's
oversee it.
the Nintendo account family group, right? It's just a Nintendo family group account allows up to 8 Nintendo account users to connect together. One person has to be the admin, right? And then you can designate, and that person supervises the other accounts in a group. Nothing on here does it says anything related to Switch Online.
That's really, I mean, if that is true, that is really problematic that they have so much terminology that is so similar that it would confuse me and James to think that that's what they're talking about. Like the fact that they're talking about local accounts has nothing to do with Switch Online, but like family, they have a family thing. That's not good nomenclature. They should really come up with a better way of describing it. I know, but they're still really closely sound alike, you know?
Yeah, Brian just pointing out that the terminology that they're using is not very good.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because like the Switch Online family is so you can share you're paying for a subscription of Switch Online for 8 people versus Nintendo family group is just a group of Nintendo accounts.
Right. Yeah. They maybe they'll get in the weeds on that a little bit further down the line.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's coming out next month, so we'll know for sure in the next couple weeks exactly how that works, and I'm sure you guys can report on it with your kids and everything like that, and your Switches
Well, I
and all
mean,
the rest, and
it's gonna
report
be all
back.
James.
So
'Cause he's the only one with kids with other Switches.
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. I did see it here. There is a thing that it goes in. Yeah, so there is Nintendo Switch Family and there's Nintendo Switch Online Family. So they
Yeah.
are separate. You can create a family group, and then you can, if you want everybody to have Nintendo Switch Online, then you have to buy Nintendo Switch Online Family, and everybody in that family will get it. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
So,
to me, the entire time didn't make any sense for me to pay $80 a year just to send over a digital game to somebody else.
mhm.
That makes no.
Yeah, but as of right now, I don't think there's any clarification that you can't share with anybody who's not in that family group. Well, and it makes sense because the way Valve does it with Steam, like on Steam, is you have to create a family group too to share. It can be friends or
Right.
family,
Yeah.
but you have to create that group first, and then you can share. And then if somebody leaves, I think there's something about like there's a maximum you can do in a year. I believe it is. There's like a limit on who can join and how many times you can leave and come back and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's true.
So it's nothing different than what Valve is doing, but it's kind of cool because I feel like this is something that a lot of people have asked for when it comes to digital games. I always thought it would be kind of cool to let somebody borrow a digital game. I just don't like that you have to be part of a family group. Like, why can't I just like, oh, here, Brian, try out Xenoblade Chronicles X or whatever, and I can just send it to you. Like, I don't have to add you because, again, I have kids, and if I have no open spaces, I know it's up to 8, but like, if I have no open spaces, then how can you borrow my game? Then that
It's
makes it
Yeah.
like physical.
it's probably a potential decrease in sales because let's say, for example, you send Brian a game for 2 weeks,
Mhm.
right? And then it automatically comes back to you, and then you send him the same game again for another
Yeah.
2 weeks just so he can complete the game. So at that point,
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't have to buy the game anymore.
physical is the
There's
same
some right
thing.
stuff
Like, what if
too.
I mail Brian the
It gets
physical game?
complicated.
Like, it's kind of the same thing. I can mail him the physical game, and like, I don't know.
And I'll
It's
say you
like I
keep your
said,
physical stuff, James.
it's a pro and a
Well,
con.
that's why digital games are more beneficial for the company because
Mhm.
Right.
they it's DRM, the digital rights management. They want to have more control over on what you have compared to a physical copy.
Yeah.
Of course, the physical copies you can just send Brian the game and have him keep it until he's finished and send it back to you. But you can't really entirely do the same thing with digital copies and stuff. Now, Valve is doing some stuff a lot more different because as long as I'm part of the family, I can just play the game as long as nobody else is playing the game, which is fine.
Right.
With other companies, they're not going to be like Valve, so they're trying to make sure that, hey, listen, even though we're letting you do this, we're trying to make sure you also buy the game too.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see. That feature comes out in April. So yeah, I'll definitely be testing it out and see how it works and
Report back.
So yeah, report back and see how I like it.
Yep.
I mean,
They showed
it's a
off
big
a
positive,
sizzle
so.
reel. They showed off a sizzle reel showing off High on Life, which originally came out on Xbox Series X, like 3 years ago or something like that.
I forgot about that game.
Yeah, that's coming May 6th to Nintendo Switch. The Art Overdrive, which I don't remember, but that comes out April 10th. The Wandering Village, which I don't remember, that comes out July 17th. King of Meat, which I also don't remember, that comes out 2025. Lose Lagoon Summer, another game that I don't remember they showed, but that comes out 2025 as well. And then Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, comes out May 21st, 2025. That game, I believe, was originally supposed to come out last year, and it got delayed till this year. Has anybody played the Fantasy Life games at all?
Nope.
Yeah, so the first one originally came out on 3DS. It's a level 5 game. Really cool. It's an action RPG / like life sim. So, you choose like a class and then you can like craft your stuff and you have like a village you go to. You can build up the village. You go on adventures. There's dungeons and all this other stuff. So kind of cool. Art style kind of reminds me of, I'm not sure if anybody here remembers Ragnarok Online. It kind of reminds me of that.
Slightly. I remember bits and pieces about Ragnarok,
Yeah.
but it's a throwback.
It's a pretty popular like MMO. So it reminds me of
Yeah.
that. But it is a fun game nonetheless. I want to say the 3DS version, I believe it was multiplayer. So other people were able to join your world and you can adventure together, which was kind of cool. Like similar like Crystal Chronicles, right? Except it's kind of like open world, so you can be everywhere in that world. So yeah, that comes out May 21st, 2025. Definitely take a look at that because I think it's gonna be a pretty cool game. Saga Frontier 2 Remastered. I've never
Yes.
played a Saga Frontiers game.
So you're a JRPG fan, you'll like it.
It's a beautiful, beautiful game. Like I remember when that came out in I want to say it came out in 2000 in America or 99 or 2000. I remember just being in awe of how it looked, like the watercolors, the way that the art design was, and I bought it based on that alone. And actually, I remember very vividly. I was vacationing in Florida. My grandma bought it for me as like a present to. Oh, hey, good to see you. Here's a play, and I wanted that game just because of the art style and how cool it looked. It was square and everything. But I was very excited that got shadow dropped. I already bought it on my Steam Deck because I figured that'd be a good Steam Deck OLED game with the art style. And
Nice.
yeah, that was very cool. That was a nice little
Yeah,
surprise.
they
that
use
they,
a
I
lot
mean,
of
because
the
they
same
announced it before,
sprites.
but it was a nice little surprise they shadow dropped it.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
use
I
a lot of the
was-
same sprites from Tactics.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like Tactics a lot.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
kind of.
Square, so no surprise.
Yeah, I'm actually hyped for it too. I'm going to be buying it first. Well, if anything, I haven't played a Saga Frontier game yet. There was another one. There was another one I demoed out a couple of months ago. No,
Yeah,
a few
that
months
was you thinking
Romancing Saga, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one I still gotta
I-
pick up. That one I really like.
Yeah, after playing the demo, I like what they're putting down. Like the thing is, it's don't have time to like actually buy the game and pick it up and try to finish it because it's another RPG you have to go through. But I like it. I love it. I love the battle music for that too. So, but since like Brian, since you're more the expert of the Saga Frontier series, if I play Romancing Saga before 2, will that f up anything when it comes to story wise? How will it confuse me or something like that?
No, I
or-
think Romancing Saga and Saga Frontiers, I think they're two different like
Two different IPs.
yeah.
Oh, whoops. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to clarify. I'm not an expert. I bought it,
Stop
25
being
years ago, and I
humble.
think I played
You
it
don't
like a
have to
few
be
times.
humble about this, okay? We understand. You are the person to go to for all Saga. All
Obviously.
things Saga.
Yeah. Not Mega Man, not Persona.
No, just Saga.
This Saga Frontier. Yep.
Fair. I got it.
Monument Valley 1, 2, and 3 comes out April 15th.
See, they know how to do it right there.
Yeah, exactly. They have a third game. Well, I think it's 1 and 2 coming out, and then 3 is coming out later on.
Fine, but
so
at least it's
technically they're still doing the 1-2 thing, but yeah, 1 and 2
Yeah.
is coming out, and then 3 comes out later on.
Right.
Everybody's Golf, aka Hot
Oh
Shots
yeah,
Golf.
sign me up.
So that was a property infamous for Sony, right? It was on the Vita, PlayStation, and so forth.
Hot shots.
That is coming to Nintendo Switch, which is kind of cool. I played because I think they recently changed it to Everybody's Golf. I played the Apple Arcade one. It was Clap Hands Golf, and I think they changed it
Yeah.
to Everybody's Golf, and that was fun.
Yep.
Like I liked
Mhm.
it. It's very Mario Golf-ish, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. Yeah, and I think it's cool. So yeah, if you're a fan of arcadey golf games, this is definitely a game to take a look
I'll
at.
be all over that.
It'd be a fun game. Is it multiplayer? I wonder. If it's multiplayer, we should
Of course it
pick
is,
it up and
yeah.
play it. It'd be kind of fun.
I think it's multiplayer.
I would
Yeah,
assume
absolutely.
so, yeah.
It's gotta be.
Marvel Cosmic Invasion. So it's a beat 'em up
Oh,
with
cool.
Marvel characters. So, yeah, it's pretty neat. I don't know.
It's
I feel
Ninja
like
Turtles guys and everything.
yeah, I feel like it's starting to get like what's the right word I'm looking for?
Oversaturated.
Yes. We had Power Rangers recently. Before Power Rangers was
Ninja
was it?
Turtles.
Ninja. We had Ninja Turtles. But there was something in between those two, wasn't there? Or no?
No, I think it was just Shredder's Revenge and then Power Rangers.
Okay. I mean, I know before Ninja Turtles, we had Streets of Rage come back with Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah.
I thought there was another beat 'em up game in between, but maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering. But yeah, it feels like now it's starting to get oversaturated. It's like, man, okay, another one. And then what's gonna come out after this? Like another beat 'em up game, Batman beat 'em up game or something like that. Like it is starting to get like oversaturated, in my opinion. But we'll see how this one looks pretty cool, pretty neat. Might check it out. We'll see. I still gotta pick up the Power Rangers one. All right, and then the game that Bryant loved the most, Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream.
Definitely living the dream, huh, Brian?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a dream that's a nightmare.
So this game, it's fun. This game has a cult following. A lot of people like it, mainly a younger crowd. So like people younger than us really love this game on 3DS. I did not know this until kind of like looking into it, and people actually bring it up. Oh, have you ever played Tomodachi Life? I was like, no, but a lot of people who are in their 20s right now really like this game. It is a more wacky version of like I guess The Sims, I guess you could say, where you create
Oh,
like
that
your main
explains a lot.
character. They have like their own they have like their own like environment, but like they talk to you. They have like that robotic like talk like voice, but they'll say like random stuff in it, and it's funny. Like I was watching some scenes and I was just laughing because some of the stuff that the personalities that the Miis get are just so random and just like crazy. They'll make up their own music and all that. It's kind of funny. So I can kind of see the charm for it. But anyways, a new Tomodachi Life game comes out in 2026. So
The
Tomodachi Life.
fact
Hmm?
that that's how they ended it. That
Uh-huh.
I just
Yeah. I was kind of disappointed with that ending, like
Mhm.
because I was really looking forward to like, okay, what big bomber they're about to drop in this Tomodachi Life. I'm like, brother,
Yeah.
listen, this is biased. I'm not really into those kinds of games, so
hmm
I don't know how people were feeling about that drop.
Yeah.
Because I have not been looking through social media to see like what people were thinking. I know like a good amount of people are thinking that this is like a solid 6 or 7 for this direct after that. But
I think 7's very generous.
hey, listen, I'm giving it a 7 because of Raito. Raito's awesome. Okay, so
Well, the thing though is that with Tomodachi, it's just this direct kind of harkens back to like Nintendo of 2008. I want to say what was the direct with that woman that was on the snowboard with Shaun White, and then it ended with Wii Music. Was that 2008? I want to say, or the year of the when it ended with Nintendo Land and the fireworks, and everybody was supposed to be so impressed by that, and everybody just thought it was dog crap. And that they didn't show the hardware of the Wii U well. I mean, again, this wasn't a system launch direct, so I shouldn't. I mean, the one in 2008 wasn't either, but this definitely was more in that spectrum as far as how impressive this direct was, which wasn't at all. As again, I kind of go back to what I said before, that I really think they're saving the big stuff for Wednesday. I'm hoping. Because I mean,
Yeah, same.
if they open the conference with, guess what, Tomodachi Life is going to be our number one, our launch game with up-res graphics, I'm gonna lose my mind. It's gonna make that Monster Hunter Wilds reveal
Yeah, I was gonna
look like
say-
child's play. I'm gonna rip all that stuff down off my back stuff over
they're
here. I'm
gonna
gonna rip
open
it
it up with
down,
Monster
throw it
Hunter
away.
Wilds. Like I don't know why you're doubting it.
bro,
Monster Hunter Wilds is gonna be the first trailer they show.
part of
my
me, part of me
look
is
how
thinking
clean
that
this
might
game
happen.
runs on Switch too.
Bro, yeah, part of me is thinking that might happen. Oh my god.
You're like that Joker meme, like you just like want to watch the world burn or whatever. You just want to see my reaction to Monster Hunter Wilds opening the Switch 2 conference. Like you don't even care.
If they show Monster Hunter Wilds as the first game, Brian is gonna have to do a 24-hour stream of Monster Hunter Wilds. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, 100%.
On all platforms, on every single platform. He's gonna switch from one platform to the next to the next.
Come on, at least he'll let him play it on PC. He has a free 90.
No, he has to do it on every platform, including Switch too. He's gonna have to do all 4 of them.
With the mouse controls.
No, you're gonna use the Guitar Hero setup. So
Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
I can't.
Play with Donkey Kong bongos.
Exactly. There we go. But look, I get it. Like ending with Tomodachi Life, I was disappointed too. Like I know it has a cult following, and people who, you can see it online. A lot of people were excited for the game as well, but it wasn't my cup of tea. Like honestly, I was hoping for Wind Waker, in Twilight Princess HD. I was just like, yes, this is my final hope. They're gonna finally show it.
Such an
Of course they
easy
didn't.
win. It would be such an easy goal. Just get those shoveled out before the Switch 2 comes out. Oh my god, the amount of goodwill you'll have. People will be jumping up and down. Oh my god, we have Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and we have Nintendo Switch 2 in a few days. And it's like, oh great, Tomodachi Life. And I mean, no hate on if you like it or whatever, but I mean, it's just not.
I'm just confused on why they haven't did it yet. That's my question. Like, could they just lose the source code to the games or something? Like,
Nuh-uh.
I don't know.
My hope is that, because Wind Waker was beelined to be released. Like there was cut dungeons. That's why that game has so little like on the back end, and that's why there's so much backtracking, is because I'm pretty sure they cut out dungeons of Wind Waker because they had to get that baby out in time. So my hope would be if they like redid Wind Waker, they did like a remake of Wind Waker on Switch 2, and with like all the cut content, a full proper Zelda game like it was supposed to be, like that would be epic to have like a definitive version of that, and I'd be okay with that. But if they're just like gonna bring this stuff out, I mean, if they're not bringing it on Switch, I just can't see them launching a Switch 2 with this old stuff. Like, I feel like this is gonna be a lot of new stuff. So I figure might as well get these Zelda games and these Metroid games out, because you're not gonna I mean, unless you're remaking them, I don't think you're putting them on the new hardware.
Yeah. No, I agree. I hope it's not like Nintendo Switch Online. Not I have no problem with
Oh,
Nintendo Switch
don't say
Online,
that.
but like I would prefer to own, like I would prefer
Yeah.
the HD not HD 2D, the HD remakes of Wind Waker versus the GameCube version, because there's a lot of quality of life
Yeah.
features in
Yeah.
it.
This was
They
sale.
prettied it up and so forth. Like I wouldn't want the GameCube. Same thing. Why like I'm happy Ocarina of Time is available on N64 Nintendo Switch Online, but in my opinion, the 3DS version is so much better. It looks better, runs better. I would prefer
The textures are better. Yeah.
textures are better, right? I would prefer like an HD version of Ocarina of Time, just using
That would be cool. A remake of
3DS.
Ocarina of Time
Yeah,
on Switch 2, I'd be down with that too. That'd be awesome.
yeah. Ocarina of Time is one of those games. It's timeless. Like you can
Deserves it.
replay it over and over again, like Mario 64, right? Timeless. You can
Oh,
play
I
that
love that
over and
too.
over, and it doesn't
Yeah.
get old. One of the few games, I would say. The final announcement was Nintendo Today, which is actually pretty cool. Have you guys been? Did you guys download the app yet of Nintendo Today?
Oh,
I downloaded it.
I didn't know the app was available yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
is.
to show off a couple things here, what I do like is the widgets. So the widgets change every day, and the design of the widget is pretty cool, right? So like you have the little
Yeah, I have
calendar
it set
here.
for mine too.
I have mine as Zelda, and it'll change. So like every day it shows a different picture on the side. Then down here will show
That's
the
cool.
events, and then up here it is a separate widget. It shows you like all the different articles that are there. If I go into the application, so it's gonna open up. It shows a little animation. So or not. It's usually shows an animation. Maybe because I saw it this morning. But the thing here, the little picture here changes, and of course it shows the date. And if you scroll down, it shows 3 more days till Nintendo Switch 2. You'll have little different key artwork,
Yeah, it's a cute little app.
different videos. Yeah, it's pretty decent. You have a little like comic here. I think this is the comic.
Animal
Yeah.
Crossing.
No, Pikmin.
Pikmin.
Like if
Oh,
I
oops.
tap on there,
How could
Yep.
you confuse
it
those,
opens
Ash?
up.
The
opens up
yellow
little
dog
comic.
look somewhere to Isabel for a bit.
No, I know, I'm kidding. They're very
Yeah.
similar.
But it's kind of cool. Like you can customize it. They have different wallpapers you can put too, for your background, which is pretty neat. What I don't like is the artwork they showed. Like they showed Fire Emblem artwork, amazing, but you can't download the artwork. Like it's just stuck in the app. Like I took screenshots of it.
Is it all blacked out?
It's no, it's just
Oh,
like
okay. You
I
can
would've-
still get it that way.
screenshot.
Okay.
I would have laughed.
When you
Yeah, if it
screenshot, it's
was,
lower
yeah.
quality. But let me see.
Mm.
Oh wait, shoot, I didn't screenshot the other one.
Hey man, I'll be careful though. Don't want to get that copyright strike on your
Okay.
live stream.
Yeah, so like they had this Fire Emblem
That's
Engage
beautiful.
artwork, and I was like, man, like this would be a great wallpaper, but of course, you can't. And there was another one.
Too low res.
Maybe I didn't. There was another Fire Emblem one that was pretty cool. It had Ike and all the other like protagonists, which was pretty dope. But I guess I didn't screenshot that. But yeah, like the app is pretty neat, and they wasted no time. They did show an announcement like the next day. I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't remember. The next day they did show something though. They wasted no time and announced something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, it's like they have that little widget for all the Nintendo events. Like that's
Mhm.
gonna be a really bare widget for like 98% of the year. It's like,
That's
oh,
true.
Nintendo Direct Day. Okay, see you in 6 months.
Yeah, like I have it because it's nice to see like any Nintendo news that might be available there, which is
Yeah,
kind of
that's
cool.
true. Yeah, yeah.
And that's the main reason why I have it. And that it looks cool. Like the little like
It does.
Zelda thing there is pretty
Mhm.
neat. I wish it would
Yeah, it's nice.
integrate with like like the iCloud calendar or whatever the case might
Mm.
be, Google Calendar, whatever you might use. That would be even better because then you could just use that one calendar widget for everything.
Mhm.
But yeah, they showed off a little app. Kind of cool to see they're kind of doing their own thing. and it'd be kind of neat to see if they integrate that to just Nintendo Switch. And I'm hoping, since this app has themes, that this is hinting that the Switch 2 will also have themes. Hopefully, they heard our cry.
Please.
Don't get ahead of yourself, James.
I know, but
please.
No,
That's all
your
I
skis here.
want.
If they can
'Cause-
add an icon for virtual game cards, they could easily do a theme.
Anything's possible.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. Like, it's Nintendo, so it's one of those things that always expect the worst. You know.
Dude, someone posted on Twitter of like a Switch theme,
Mhm.
and nowhere in the thing did he said like he created it himself. So he
Mhm.
like fooled a bunch of people online.
People were
Thinking
freaking
it
out.
like like that. It was like, oh, it's the new like OS for Switch.
You wish.
I just want themes. Give me background music, eShop music, all the stuff that
Please.
Nintendo is known for. Like,
Yes.
people use Nintendo music for videos like nonstop.
Straight every
Like-
bro. It is
Put the Nintendo
countless.
Music app on Switch too.
That would be nice. Play that in the background.
Yeah,
Let
that
me hear anything.
background music. Yep.
Yep.
You know, Nintendo themselves just has great music overall.
They do.
I mean, I use a lot of their music. I wish Nintendo music would update more often because they have a lot more IPs. There's no reason why we haven't gotten any new music. In
It comes
what-
every Wednesday.
Is it? Was there one last Wednesday?
Yeah.
What was last Wednesday? Oh, there was Kirby,
Yep.
right?
They brought out like and here's it's so funny. It's Kirby in the Forgotten Land, but it's like 30 of the tracks, and they're like, we'll get the rest of the tracks last week. At some point this year, we'll add the rest of it. It's like
coming
cool.
later this year. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so
thanks.
good.
Like, don't you guys own this? Like, what are we doing here? I mean, come on.
Yeah. I see that there's
Because that game has a great soundtrack, by the way. The Forgotten Land soundtrack, that's a fabulous soundtrack.
You see, one thing that about this, and maybe they'll add it later on, it's like they have Super Mario Brothers 3, but I prefer the SNES version, right? The one that came with All Stars. Like, I like
All-Stars,
the updated soundtrack for SNES because, of course, they added more
Blasphemy.
instruments and that's like,
Blasphemy.
what? You don't like the updated soundtrack? Like, everything about
it's
the All Stars
good,
version
but
is just better.
I honestly like playing Mario 3 better on the NES version than All
Yes.
Stars. It's just for some reason it just feels
Mhm.
it just feels so pure to me. And I
Yeah.
mean it's fine, like the All Stars is fine, but it's just so beautiful and pure and 8-bit and everything like that. It just gets me in the feels. I can't explain it.
See, it could be, that bias that I owned it on with All Stars, where my cousin owned the NES version because I never had an NES.
Uh-huh.
So he had the NES
Gotcha.
version, but then when All Stars came out, that's where I played the majority of it. Because I would only play it when I was over at his house. So there might be that bias, but I just like I like the Super Nintendo sound. I mean, it is better overall,
It is better. Yeah.
but it's so classic. It's like when you listen to Chrono Trigger soundtrack. Like I still prefer hearing the SNES version versus any orchestrated version of same tracks because it's just I don't know. Like listening to what's that theme? The forest theme.
Not
Sure.
Secret of the Forest. Is it?
Is that what it is? Yeah, whatever the forest theme is, listening to that, I'm like, man, like it just sounds so good with for Super
Yeah,
Nin-
just Secret of the
Nintendo track.
Forest.
It is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's so good. Oh man, I'm gonna have to replay I'm gonna have to play some Chrono
Yeah,
Trigger
that's a
after
beautiful
this.
song. Do 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 do.
Just like that whole soundtrack to Chrono Trigger is just
Oh, it is. It's so good.
10 out of 10. Nothing comes close, in my opinion.
Nope.
All right. But yeah, that was the Nintendo Direct. I think we'll go ahead and say what we thought about it. I say it's C minus, C minus. It was okay. It was all right.
I mean, it's the last one for the Switch. Like, what do you
Is it
expect?
though?
Maybe, yeah.
For the Switch One, I think this is probably the last
I think
direct
there might be
for
another
it.
one for the Switch.
Yeah,
one.
I think
that's all
not
going to
everybody's
be
an upgrade.
focusing more on the Switch 2 and just their games in general, right?
Maybe
This is
one of
the
the last.
last direct that before a new Switch is being announced.
I mean that I would say yes, but I feel like there might be one more because if rumors of the Switch 2 being launched in June, which would be awesome because it's my birthday.
Yeah, but at
Actually,
that
what
point,
day does
the
my
direct
birthday
would no
fall on?
longer be considered just a Switch direct. It'd be a Switch 2 direct.
or maybe the new directs will have like some Switch stuff and some Switch 2 stuff. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This might be the last like
This
Switch
is gonna be the
1
last
focused one.
Switch 1 focused direct
Yeah, maybe.
ever.
Yeah, that's possible.
Oh my goodness.
Because
I hate
everything's gonna be
Chrome.
like, oh, we'll play on the Switch 2, and you can play it on the Switch 1.
Right.
On a
Just like
side note,
the
Yes?
thing about the
not to
Switch 2
get
editions.
off topic here,
Uh-oh.
but so I was on, reading this stuff from IGN, right? Check it out. The tab on Chrome, just the IGN tab, is taking 4.3 gigs of RAM.
What'd you
That's
say?
scary.
Please, man.
The IGN tab that I have open up in Chrome is taking 4.3 gigs of RAM.
It's all the ads, man.
Yeah.
Scary.
That is like crazy. Crazy. And people complain about ad blocker. Like, come on, man. This is why we had to use ad blocker, because 4.3 gigs of RAM is ridiculous. Like, games don't even
Yeah.
take up that much.
The-
I mean,
yeah,
they
that's
probably do, but
insane.
still, that's Anyways, yeah. I mean, I think a C, is safe in my opinion.
If it was a vacuum, if this was the only direct we're getting until August or something, I would give it a D minus probably. The only saving grace for me would have been Metroid Prime 4 footage, but we've seen all that already. There was 0 new announcements that I was like super hyped for. So in a vacuum, it's a D minus for me. But since we know that we have a new direct in 3 days, I'm going to be charitable and go along with you and say like C minus C, because I think there's going to be some good stuff hopefully in that Switch 2 direct. But the fact that if this was even thinking about being the only thing they were going to be doing for the next several months without having this hardware, oh man, that would have been that would have been good.
I don't know. I think Dragon Quest and Metroid Prime alone is enough for a C. You don't think so?
No new announcements though.
I mean,
Right
Rhythm
up.
Heaven, right? Good music.
Yeah, I mean, there were new announcements, just nothing that you were really mainly
Mhm.
interested in.
Which is why for me it will be a C because of Rida.
Yeah, just right up.
I mean,
top,
that
which is pretty
looks cool too, but
I think maybe the
make it a partner direct. Then everything there that we're
pacing-
talking about is partner, except for Rhythm Heaven and Tamagotchi. Otherwise,
Yeah.
that Atlas game, Dragon Quest, those are all third parties. This could have been a partner direct, and then I would give it a whole nother rubric. But since this is a Nintendo first party special standard Nintendo Direct, I just think the bar should be higher.
Well, I don't really feel like
I'm-
it was like first party. It was like a mix, right? Because they have first and third party. So
No,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying though, is that like you're pointing out like Dragon Quest and everything
Mhm.
like that is like that alone makes it high or whatever. And I'm saying like all the games that were in this direct were pretty much third party with the exception of Tamagotchi and
Mhm.
Rhythm Heaven.
That's
And
higher for
so-
him.
and Prime
It's higher for him.
for me. Yes.
What'd you say?
No, it's high. It's a C in his eyes because of those 2 games alone. Right? We've talked about a lot about like a lot of these games. It's gonna not. The directs aren't catered just to one person. They're gonna try and go out and attach as much people, to the direct as much as possible. So
I agree.
there
but I'm
were a
just
lot
saying
of
I
new
wish that it
directs,
was
a lot
bit
of new
more
games,
even.
but they weren't catered to what we like to play,
Mhm.
which is fine. But the fact that they showed games that we do enjoy playing, even though we already knew about them, they showed a lot more. That's why he's rating it a C. I'm in the same boot. I'd say, yeah, it's probably a C. The fact that they showed the virtual game cart thing is cool too, because that opened up a whole lot of like headaches that people already have with the current system, with like primary switches, non-primary switches, like family accounts.
Like people who want to
And
switch
it's again,
lights.
like we said, it's the last direct they have before Switch 2 comes out, right? So like
Mhm.
you can't always in on a high at the top because a lot of those games they've already announced way in advance, and everyone's already in the mood for like, where's the Switch 2? When's that coming
I
out?
mean, honestly, if they showed off Fire Emblem, it would have been an A.
Yeah,
I would
honestly,
have
same for
dropped
me
it down
too.
to an F, honestly, if there was a freaking another Fire Emblem game before Metroid Prime 2 or something.
Fire Emblem would have made it an A right away. I would have been like, yes, that's it. That's all
There's
I
enough
needed.
Fire Emblem already.
Bro, I would have praised him with the released remaster for Fire Emblem Tharsia 776. I'll be down for
Mhm.
that, man.
I think Genealogy of the Holy War is gonna come first.
You
'Cause
Fire
they
Emblem
have
people
to.
are fat enough already. Let's have some new games from other properties of
Yeah,
Nintendo's.
you
Brian, you
not
gotta
have
you gotta
enough
try
Fire
one,
Emblem.
man.
you
I
tried-
have.
Which one?
I enjoy them, but there's so many already.
That's
And
like
then
there's too
play
many
some
Final
more.
Fantasies.
No, there's not. There's 16 of them.
16.
That's not enough in 30 years.
There,
Mm.
How
there's
many
more.
Fire Emblem
There's,
releases have been on Switch?
Hold
A
on.
bajillion.
Let's start.
listen,
counting.
there's
Yeah.
way more Final Fantasies than Fire Emblems. I can tell you that much,
Yes,
man. Hold
yes,
up.
a lot more.
Yeah, but
Time
okay, to be
out.
fair though, one's a lot more difficult to make than the other.
I
A lot more
mean-
money.
I mean,
I mean,
now they
16
are.
costs how many hundreds of millions of dollars compared to Fire Emblem with Engage or whatever?
I mean, yeah, there's that, but still, there's still more Fire Emblem or more Final Fantasy, and Fire Emblem's been out. It came out later, but still.
Came out at the same time.
Around,
No.
yeah, around
And the
the
first
same
Final
Fire Emblem was like
Fantasy came out on
87.
the NES or Super NES.
Yeah, Fire Emblem
So-
came
so-
out
Well,
on
NES.
NES.
Yeah,
as
it came
well.
on a it came on an NES too. You
Mhm.
got you guys never
Shadow
bought the thing
Dragon.
on the Switch? Yeah, Shadow
Yeah,
Dragon.
I have it on the
Oh,
Switch too.
that-
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
which
first one.
which is funny enough. I hate when Nintendo does this. Is that they're like, hey, you can buy this once of a lifetime
limited time
NES.
thing,
Yeah. I'm like, why would you limit that?
Mhm.
That's so stupid. I'm
the
sorry.
Disney Vault.
Part of my language, but I'm like, crap. Like, leave it alone.
Yeah.
I'm like,
was
are we
annoying.
trying to promote no piracy? Like, Jesus Christ, I can't.
My thing
Like,
about that too is like they have some quality of life stuff, or they like allow you to fast forward the game. But when you fast forward it fast forwards the music too. I'm like, man, like I like the music, but I don't want it fast forward. So that's why I haven't played that one. I would prefer to play the DS version.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
got
get
something
you.
kind of hot off the presses, guys.
Oh, what happened?
I'm gonna put this in our Discord. Friend of the show, Alex, just dropped this in a group chat, and he just I don't know where he got this from, but this is official artwork. I'm gonna drop this into open fields.
See.
Why can't I find you? Here we go. It's Final Fantasy 9.
Remake?
Come on, please load.
No, it's the anniversary thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did see that.
there you go. That looks beautiful.
But I'm really hoping for that remake, though.
Yeah,
That
so cool.
I mean that looks pretty good to me for maybe some remake news or remaster remake whatever. But I mean that art is
Switch 2
stunning.
announcement. Switch 2 announcement.
That'd
That'd
be
be cool.
Hey,
Yeah, I
listen.
mean, They
I'm
did
look-
say the supposed Switch 2 is powerful enough to play
Seven.
remake.
Nine
So-
remake would be nice.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Nine is one of those games that you can do a 1-for-1 remake, just make the graphics prettier, kind of like Crisis Core, right? Make the graphics prettier, and it would still hold up. Like it's still such a great game. Even the music, you don't have to do much for the music. Just higher
I love
bitrate,
9's
and that's it.
soundtrack. It's so good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Just that opening, like just us talking about it, the beginning of Final Fantasy 9, the music when you play as Vivi and you're walking around, like Yep, that just came to my head. Such a good soundtrack. Such a good that opening to Final Fantasy 9 is great. Like the more I think about it, like when you crash land, you're in the forest and all that stuff. Such a good game. Good set of events too. So Pan, you said C. Ash, you said C. So we're all C pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So let's go ahead because we're getting late on time. It's almost midnight here. Let's go ahead and give some quick predictions on the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. What do you think they'll show off? I'll start off real quick. I think they're gonna show off a new
Wait.
Fire Emblem game. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want to do this now? Because are we going to do this prediction stuff on Wednesday before the show?
We could do that. It's up to you guys. You want to do that now? Or you want to wait for before the show? Let's wait.
I
before-
vote for before the show.
before show, son. Yeah.
All right, so we'll go ahead
Okay.
and do it before the show then.
All right. We can just
Because we're gonna start what
first.
30 minutes before.
Yeah.
I'm saying at least 30 minutes before minimum.
Okay,
If
that'd be
not,
perfect timing.
Yeah, I'll be setting up everything like at 8, and I might go live before then, just to make sure everything's running good. Because I don't want it to be like 30
Perfect.
minutes before, and then I'm having to go ahead and fight
Or
with-
during and we never turn the audio on.
Yeah.
That would never happen though.
Exactly right. No, it shouldn't happen anymore. We should be good. I'm glad
Okay.
I was able to fix this because I was wondering like crazy, like what is going on, and then luckily somebody on Reddit had, of course, Reddit always saves the day. Somebody had the same issue.
They do.
and with the switch, with an Ethernet switch, which is what I'm using, and they said they had to do something on their PC and they made it work. And sure enough, I did it and it worked. Which I'm happy. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and end the podcast here. I appreciate everybody for joining. I apologize once again for like all the issues we had in beginning of the podcast. After moving, things were out of whack, and I kind of had to set up this because I've been tired, and I had to set up the whole setup like literally like 2.5 hours before we started. So yeah, I am gonna go ahead and do some more resting, and I still got more work to do. Gotta do some stuff like enroll my
Amiibo
kids
hanging.
in school. I gotta decorate. Yep, decorate. I can't promise the decorations. Hopefully, I can get it done, but I'm not promising decorations. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. Put some, RGBs, all that other good stuff. See what we can do. What I am planning is actually instead of having all this back here, I'm thinking of either uh, what me and Fan were talking about earlier today or yesterday, it was one of these days, put a green screen back there to block off that, or somehow get like a closed off section here so that I don't have all of that in the background. So we'll see, and then I can decorate that. Um, yeah, my wife was saying like get a shelf to put the amiibos and my controllers and everything or something in the background. So, and enough space for this. We'll see. We'll figure out what to do. Anyways, thanks for watching. Brian, where can I catch you at?
I'm at Red So Deep on Blue Sky.
What about you, Ash?
You can catch me at That's Destroy on my YouTube.
And you, Fan?
Phaneckswhy on Blue Sky, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all the socials.
And as always, you can catch me right here at the Random Encounter. We will start up the streams. Probably we'll go for next week. Next week we'll start the group stream with me and Brian, where we're gonna play through Split Fiction. Just because
Yes.
I still have some things that I have to do. Like I gotta sign up my kids for their new school. Since we're in a new area and a bunch of other stuff that
Excuse
I
me, I
still
think
have
Split Fiction's a little bit more important.
to do. So there's still a lot of stuff that I have to do before we get into that. But for sure, I would say starting next week, for sure, we will be 100% back. Wednesday, come join us. We will be live streaming the Switch 2 announcement. We will be here. The hype will be going on. I am excited. We'll be having a lot of fun on Wednesday. So join us 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Central Time. We will be live. So definitely join us there. No video this week. No group stream this week. No solo stream this week. Maybe a solo stream if I decide to. Maybe to test out, everything else. But I'm not promising that. But for sure, starting next week, we will go ahead and do that. Oh, podcast has to change, right? We have to change our podcast time, right? Is that this
Yeah.
coming week or the week after that?
Yes, it will be this. Yeah, I'm gonna have off this Saturday.
Okay, so we'll
Maybe Sunday. I need to talk with my. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out
okay.
in the
So
couple
maybe
days.
podcast on Sunday. If not, we'll have to transition to the new time. But going forward, we will have the podcast
I'll let you know.
also on a different date. So yeah, we'll try to go ahead and announce that somewhere. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thank you, Bryant. Thank you, Fan. Thank you, Ash. And we will see you guys on Wednesday for the Switch 2. Take care.